Have you ever set your sauna to 175 degrees and thought, why doesn't this feel right? Maybe it feels way too hot, maybe it doesn't feel hot enough, or maybe it used to feel perfect at one temperature, and now that same number feels completely different. Before you blame the heater or assume you're doing something wrong, check one simple thing. Where is your thermometer? Because the number on the wall is not always the temperature your body is actually feeling. So today, I'm going to walk you through what sauna temperature really means, what range makes sense for each type of sauna, and what to check when your sauna just doesn't feel right. Hey, I'm Caleb with the Sauna Place in Cookeville, Tennessee. I talk with customers all the time about saunas, heaters, and how to get the experience they're actually looking for. And one of the most common questions I hear is, how hot should my sauna be? That sounds like a simple question, but the answer depends on what kind of sauna you have, how the room is built, where you're setting, and even how much water you're pouring on the stoves. Temperature is important, but it's not the whole story. It's more like a clue. It tells us whether the sauna is heating the way it should, whether the heater is the right size, and whether the room is holding heat properly. Once you understand that, sauna temperature gets a lot less confusing. By the end of this video, you'll know the normal temperature range for different types of saunas, why the same setting can feel different from one day to the next, where your thermometer should be placed, how to ease into higher temperatures if you're new, and what to check if your sauna is struggling to get hot or stay hot. Let's start with the basic temperature ranges. For a traditional Finnish style sauna, you're usually looking at about 150 to 195 degrees Fahrenheit. Most people I talk to are happiest somewhere between 165 and 185 degrees. That's warm enough to get a good sweat, but still comfortable enough that you can actually enjoy the session. If you have an infrared sauna, the number will be lower. Most infrared saunas run between 100 and 150 degrees, and that's normal. Infrared saunas work differently. They warm your body more directly instead of trying to heat the whole room to the same level as a traditional sauna. So don't compare a 135 degree infrared sauna to a 180 degree traditional sauna. They're different experiences. Most infrared users seem to land somewhere between 125 to 140 degrees, whereas steam rooms are different again. They usually run around 110 to 120 degrees. That sounds low compared to a sauna, but steam changes everything. Because the room is full of moisture, that heat feels much stronger than the number suggests. And then there are smoke saunas, which is a traditional wood-fired sauna. These are less common in home setups and are usually around 140 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. So the big takeaway is this: there's no one perfect sauna temperature for every sauna. The right range depends on the type of heat you're using. Now, here's why people get tripped up. The number on the thermometer is not the whole story. In a traditional sauna, when you pour water on hot stones, you get that burst of steam. That's called low loop. And that moisture can make the room feel much hotter almost immediately. That's why 160 degrees with steam can feel hotter than 185 degrees with dry heat. So when someone says, my sauna is only at 160, but it feels way too hot, that heater may not be the problem at all. It may just be the humidity. The more water you pour, the more intense the room feels. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means temperature and humidity work together. So if you like using water on the stones, you may not need to set the sauna as high. Lower the temperature a little and see how it feels. The goal is not to win a contest with the thermostat. The goal is to find the setting that gives you a good, comfortable session. Now, let's talk about the thermometer, because it's a big one. Where your thermometer is placed can completely change what you think is happening in the room. Heat rises. So if your thermometer is mounted way up near the ceiling, it's going to read hotter than what you're actually feeling on the bench. If it's mounted too low, it may read cooler. The most useful place to measure is around seated head height, near the bench, on the wall opposite the heater. That gives you a better idea of what your body is actually experiencing during a session. In a traditional sauna, the ceiling can easily be 20, 30, or even 40 degrees hotter than the bench area. So you might see a thermometer reading that looks high, but that place where you're setting feels much lower. That does not always mean something is broken. That's just how heat moves in the room. And this is why bench height matters so much. The upper bench is hotter, the lower bench is cooler. Sometimes the simplest way to adjust your sauna is not touching the thermostat at all. It's moving up or down a bench. Another thing people ask is, how long should my sauna take to heat up? For most electrical traditional saunas, a properly matched heater should usually reach temperature in about 30 to 45 minutes. Wood-fired saunas usually take a little bit longer, often around 45 to 90 minutes, depending on the stove, how you manage the fire, and the type of lumber you're using. Infrared saunas are usually quicker. Many are ready in about 15 to 20 minutes because they don't have to heat the entire room the same way. So if your electric sauna is taking an hour and a half just to reach a moderate temperature, that's a sign to look closer. It doesn't always mean you need a new heater. Start simple. Check the stones, check whether the door is sealing well, check whether the heater is the right size for the room. A lot of times the fix is much smaller than people expect. Quick question for the comments. What temperature do you usually run your sauna at? And what kind of sauna do you have? Traditional, infrared, steam, wood-fired. Drop both in the comments. I'm always curious to see where people land because there's a wider range than most people think. If you're new to sauna, don't start at the top of the dial. Start lower and build up. For your first week or two, try around 140 to 150 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. The goal is just to learn how your body responds. Drink water. Pay attention to how you feel. Don't push it. After that, you can move into the 155 to 165 range for about 12 to 15 minutes. Then, if that feels good, you might work up to 165 to 175 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. A lot of people stay in that range long term. That's a very normal, very usable sauna temperature. Experienced users may go higher into the 175 to 200 plus range, usually for shorter sessions. But higher is not automatically better. Some people find their favorite setting at 155 and stay there forever. That's completely fine. The best sauna temperature is one where you can relax, sweat, and finish the session feeling good. Don't chase the number, chase the experience. Time and temperature work together. The hotter the sauna is, the shorter the session usually needs to be. The lower the temperature, the longer many people can comfortably stay in. That's why some people like doing multiple rounds. They'll sit in the sauna for 15 or 20 minutes, step out, cool down, drink water, maybe rinse off, and then jump back in. That's a very common way to use a traditional sauna. Other people prefer one longer, lower temperature session. Both can work great. The key here is listening to your body and not forcing a session just because the clock says you plan to stay in longer. If you're counting the seconds until you can get out, that's your answer. Get out, cool down, try a lower temperature next time. Here's a simple tip that can change the way you use your sauna. Use the benches. The upper bench is going to feel much hotter. The lower bench is going to feel cooler. In many saunas, moving from the upper bench to the lower bench can change what you feel by about 15 to 25 degrees. That's a big difference. And you didn't have to touch the heater. So if your sauna feels too intense, move down first. If it feels too mild, move up. A lot of people spend all their time adjusting the thermostat when the easiest adjustment is already built into the room. Now, let's say your sauna is really not reaching temperature, or it reaches temperature, but it just won't hold. Most of the time, the issue is one of three things. First, the heater may be too small for the room. Sauna heaters are matched to the size of the space. If the room needs a larger heater, a smaller heater can run and still never quite get the temperature. That's not your fault. That's a sizing issue. Second, heat may be escaping. That can happen through walls, the ceiling, gaps around the door, or areas that are not insulated well. This is especially important with outdoor saunas because weather and moisture can affect the room over time. If your sauna used to hold heat well and now it doesn't, it's worth checking where heat may be getting out. Third, check the stones. This one gets missed a lot. Sauna stones do not last forever. Over time, they can crack, crumble, and stop holding the heat the way they should. When that happens, the heater has to work harder and the room may not feel as steady or comfortable. Before you assume you need a brand new heater, look at the stones. If they're falling apart, it may be time to replace the full load. That's a much easier fix than replacing the whole heater. Now, let's talk safety. For most adults, 194 degrees is the upper end of where a traditional sauna should be. That does not mean everyone should use it that hot. You can get a great sauna session well below that, and you should never push through warning signs. If you feel dizzy, get out. If you feel nauseous, get out. If your heart is racing and not settling down, get out. If you feel confused, lightheaded, or just not right, end the session. Cool down. Drink water. The sauna will still be there tomorrow. And if you have high blood pressure, heart disease, a serious health condition, or you're taking medication that affects heat tolerance, talk with your doctor before using a sauna. Same thing for pregnancy. Children, older adults, and anyone brand new to sauna should start lower, keep sessions shorter, and build slowly only if they feel good. A sauna should leave you feeling better, not like you survived something. So what temperature should your sauna be? For a traditional sauna, many people are happy somewhere between 165 and 185 degrees. For infrared, it's usually much lower, often around 125 to 140 degrees. For a steam room, the number may look low, but the humidity makes it feel much hotter. And no matter what kind of sauna you have, remember this: the number is only part of the story. Humidity matters. Thermometer placement matters. Bench height matters. Preheat time matters. And if your sauna is not heating the way it should, start with the simple things first. Check the stones, check the door and insulation, make sure the heater is the right size for your room, and before you replace anything major, please talk with someone who can help you think it through. That's what we help people with every day here at the Sauna Place. If this helps you understand your sauna a little bit better, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And when you're ready to talk through a sauna, heater, or temperature issue, give us a call at the number on the screen or visit saunaplace.com. And as always, we'll hope to see you soon.